I mean, you talked about marketing. Do you think in 70s and 80s, the consumer was, bombarded by ads, commercials from all kinds of media?
Yes. Coke was in a very fierce warfare with Pepsi. So when you go to cinemas, you never missed out on the advertisement on Coca-Cola. I mean, the other popular, the other the other advertising product, just as many as Coke would be the Levi jeans. But otherwise, you can never miss out on the advertising for Coke. And it's really very catchy, the slogan and the message of Coke. Really very, very good. And Pepsi also just equally good, with the Michael Jackson um, advertisement, the way they market, tying Michael Jackson with Pepsi. Very, very catchy.
Do you remember the slogan for Coke?
Oh, I think quite a few. Hold on. In the jingle.
That's right, the jingle. You want to sing the jingle? Go ahead.
It's the real thing. La la da 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 da. La 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 la. Something like that. And another jingle. I like the world to sing.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, I remember that one.
La 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 da 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 da. Okay. And I think also there's another one, isn't it? Coca-Cola and or was it Pepsi? That's all I can think now. Because honestly, you want to drink, you don't watch the advertisement, man.
Right.
So they came up with very very beautiful advertising styles in advertising, and that concept. And it can be very, very good, very, very very catchy so that it lasts in your mind. Like the part where this young actor who acted in the movie Back to the Future, that young
Michael
actor,
J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox, all right, coming up with, I think it was Pepsi, right? And then he rushes down while answering the door, and this beautiful lady came in, this beautiful female lady came in, and then she asked for something, and then, can I introduce my roommate? And then Mike just said, oh yes, I have. Oh well, I mean, this lady was asking, this young beautiful female was asking for a drink, for a Pepsi. I think it was a Pepsi. And he says, yes, I have a Pepsi. And he rushes down in less than a minute, to the vending machine, and then to retrieve 3 cans of Pepsi to serve the 2 visitors in the neighborhood. So that was catchy. So things like little snippets like that, it catches your mind because it's so nice to watch again and again and again. The way high advertising, they portray everyday life in a way that it's best remembered because it's relevant to our way of life. So they're very, very intelligent. They really pay large sums, large sums.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
because
the way of life, right? Exactly. So the soft drinks, the jeans, the food, the fast food, the music. Do you think this was a period of westernization that the government began to be afraid of? That it was westernizing the younger generation.
very much vis-a-vis the Cold War era, where Western influence, the great Western mass influence coming, capitalism and technology. So habits, lifestyle, entirely new. Advertisements, bowling, recreation, bowling came around. What else? Your wear, the way you wear your pants, Levi's jeans, pop music to go with it. So the whole entire lifestyle, it ushers in that that zeitgeist, the word, the era, the period, that period in our history, in our civilization, it was very appropriate and very well defined. The consumption of drink, the music, the pop music that goes with it, the clothing, the jeans, the hairdo, long hair culture, the movies, you know, um, and that whole entirety of who we are and how do we define ourselves is so easily recognized if you compare to myself in the 50s and the early years. Complete cut off, you know, the cutoff point was so complete, and it was a time of adventure and entertainment and boy meet girl, and going to college. Junior college was introduced, and then more and more girls entering into the JCs, into the universities, and then Orchard Road, and no longer the old-fashioned young girls not allowed to be in the street with boys after 9. That kind of fixation in our culture, you know, it's no longer, you know, it's the modern liberation of ourselves amidst the backdrop of the geopolitics of the world.
I mean, the 1980s was also, I mean, that was the era that I grew up in. That was the time, remember that, the government.
I think the apex of it.
Right. The worst of it in a sense.
Okay, the worst of
The
it.
government began to warn against this younger generation becoming, adopting Western values. And, this was the time, the decade when they emphasized things like Confucian values, Asian values, afterwards in the 90s.
Correct. I would use that restraining factor because otherwise it got out of way, you know, and what happened, you know, the introduction of drugs got into the lifestyle of drugs and permissiveness and that total disregard for the conventions. And that's where the turnaround government educational policy on, as you said, bringing about Confucianism, religious studies, the cutting of long hair, which was made mandatory, mandatory. Otherwise, you will not be served if you go to a government department. And the disco era of the 70s into the 80s, and some discos were closed on account of the taking of drugs in some of these discos that they were banned.
Yeah, but I think also, I mean, what we have been discussing all along, right, is, because soft drinks was so, in a sense, pervasive, and on the surface, it was harmless, right? It was sexy. It's very hard to fight against it compared to drugs or long hair. You can legislate against those things, but you can't stop people from drinking, or you can't ban the soft drinks, can you?
Yes, it comes back to culture. If I had grown up, or rather, if I had lived, let's say 50 years ago, what drinks do I have? Nothing. Bird's Nest, vodka, bandung, what cheng teng and all that. Fast forward in the era of technology, mechanization, and bottled drinks, you get a wide array of drinks, and that brings about a new idea in the drinking consumption. You want to drink not just water, plain water, or those available from the hawkers, but a bottled drink, and bottled drinks come aplenty, wide array, and the brands were they inundated the market, really inundated the market. So many of them. So when you go to a coffee shop, you're not going to ask for a glass of water. I mean, it doesn't make sense. You ask for a bottled drink. And Well, the same thing in restaurants. You ask for bottled drink. I mean, in the past, it was what? Chinese tea, all right, which is hot. But you want to quench your thirst, what do you get? Glass of water. But these days, I mean, as we grew up, okay, you ask for the soft drink in a restaurant. Until these days, in any outlets where you have your beverage, where you have your tea time to your dinner time,
Yeah,
your
you
drinks will always
mentioned earlier that your mother loved what was it, green spot?
be
Did
non-carbonated green spot.
yeah,
She'll
as far
always
as
be
you
asking.
know, did the older people also go for the soft drinks like the younger people?
The older folks, for reasons of health, would take the non-carbonated. The older folks, they're really very old, okay? Uncles, I know my grand uncle, for instance, every time we asked, we are drinking Coke or gassy drink, uncle, you will come and join me, come and partake. No, I can't drink. I'm too old for that. I must get, I can't because it's too strong for my throat. I must have and then that's how he got his non-carbonated drink request.
Which would be what? A Western drink or a local drink?
The local bottle drink,
Okay.
the green spot, the red lion, the green spot, the red lion.
All right, but still a Western drink in that sense, right?
Yes,
Okay,
it's
okay.
always Western. The permeation of Western culture, or rather, Western culture permeates even to the beverage industry, to the drinking industry. It's not just passion, lifestyle, pop culture, your language, your whatever, but also into the beverage industry. You see how amazing the world
Right.
has changed.
And it wasn't just the teenagers or the young people who liked it. It's also the middle-aged people and the
Yes.
older people as well, the grandmothers and grandfathers.
A good example is my dad. Okay, he's a tea drinker, but when he's thirsty, he doesn't want a cold water, right? Because it doesn't give him the pleasure of quenching your thirst. You know, my father, he wants to quench his thirst. It's not just quenching to cure that thirst in you. You also want to enjoy drinking. He asked for a Coke. He asked for a 7-Up. His two favorite drinks. Coke and 7-Up. And so my mother is non-carbonated. And so with my relatives, the elder relatives, the uncles, I mean, during dinners, we ask for cold drink. We would ask for carbonated beverage. So that is the what is it? The shaping of our consumer
It
lifestyle.
was very pervasive among all generations. Yeah.
Not just pervasive, but infectious, contagious, and infectious.
Yeah.
If I order a
yeah.
soft drink, all right, my brother is going to follow suit. My younger brother is going to follow suit, right? And likewise,
Who's the first one to order then? It will be you?
I'm being the elderly in the family. Yeah, I mean, of course, I've got an eldest brother, right? So it goes down the hierarchy.
I have a question about drinks, and this is not related to soft drinks, but I wonder if you can shed some light, which is alcohol, right? How was alcohol more popular or pervasive in the past compared to it is now? I mean, alcohol, was it a big part of business, for example, that your father was part of? Was there a drinking culture among the businessmen?
Yes. Although I don't drink, I'm non-alcoholic. I'm a teetotaler. I can tell for a fact because my relatives, I've got very big relatives in our grand family. The uncles, they drink, and they drink the ABC stout or the ABC beer, all right? Brewed in Alexandra Road, I think you recall
That's right.
one of those times when we were exploring Bukit Merah, the cottage industry, and then particularly we wanted to see the location of ABC Brewery, that brand, the Tiger Beer. So Tiger Beer or Guinness Stout, uncles, they really go for, they're alcoholic, they will go for such drinks, even to quench their thirst, because they are alcoholic. I have uncles who are alcoholic.
And your dad, did he drink as part of making business deals with his business partners? Was that common?
Would be very common, but my dad is not so much as an alcoholic. The alcohol part of the party or the celebration or the event would be best asked by my father to his guests. You want to have beer, whatever. For him, he make do or he settled for Chinese tea. And then when it comes to entertainment, pure entertainment, going to wherever he needed a cold drink or what, it would be soft drink for my father, Coca-Cola and 7-Up. Or orange, even orange, F&N orange. So that would be my father.
Okay, one last part, and I want quick answers from you, right? Quick fire questions for you. These are the sort of wars, right, between the soft drink brands. You choose and why, right? Red Lion versus Green Spot.
Green Spot.
Why?
Green Spot is because Green Spot is very American, Pasadena, California, manufactured there. Red Spot, I don't know, but because the advertisement and then the knowledge, we know that Green Spot comes from real orange drink, from California, where the growers of orange comes from. And good quality orange, sun-kissed.
Both of them are gone, isn't it? What happened to them?
Changing habits, changing taste. I don't know. I think this is a chicken and egg. I make a digression here.
Yeah.
Kasing. The chicken or the egg, which one comes first? We stopped drinking and then the industry closed. Or they closed the industry for I don't know, for whatever reason, and then we never heard of it. So today, young generation never heard of Green Spot or Red Lion. Maybe the canning of Green Spot I used to see, here and there, but very sporadic, very limited, sporadic. Yeah.
Red Lion was by
F&N.
F&N, right? I mean, there's a big
Yes.
company behind it. Yeah, but
Correct.
they failed ultimately, isn't it?
Even big companies like Canada Dry, all right, bottled by Yeo Hiap Singh, eventually wind up because it's the consumers. Ultimately, it boils down to the consumers and the habit, what they desire, what they like, what they don't like. So Canada Dry, and we didn't mention this just now, was introduced to challenge the variety in flavor on the part of F&N. So the two battle it out. And in the event, it was Canada Dry that lost out in the war.
Right. Yeah. Famrose Orange versus Fanta Orange.
Fanta anytime, because Fanta, superior quality. Although they were both orange, but somehow Fanta just gives you that little extra, when you're thirsty, your choice is you want a Fanta. And even if there's no Fanta around, well, I mean, with the two available drinks, and you want a Coke, but there's no Coke, there's nothing except for this orange, you go for Fanta.
Okay, the next one is like a given. We know you love Coke, so there were three. There was Coke, Pepsi, and what you mentioned just now, RC Cola.
Okay. Coca-Cola. And if the kopitiam says no stock, I go for Pepsi.
Was there ever such a thing, or Kopitiam say no stock?
Happened because sold out.
Sold
see,
out.
Sold out, and they learned a lesson learned. So they ask for higher quantity each time the supplier calls on them and said, okay, in crates, how many do you want? And then they will tell you how many. So it's a lesson learned because you're not going to miss out on opportunity of a sale, of a potential buyer sale. You're not going to miss out on him, the customer. So they stock up.
Could you say something about RC Cola?
Nice and very flavory. Very flavory. I like it. But there is a slight difference. You can tell if you're a regular cola drinker. All right? If I were to close my eyes, I could tell the diff between a Coke and a Pepsi. I could tell between the two of them vis-a-vis RC. so much different.
Mm.
Because I drink Coke practically every other day, man. I
Okay,
could drink.
we
Sorry.
have. Sorry, go on.
I could drink as many as 4 to 5 cans of Coke per day in my younger days.
My goodness,
how-
you actually did that.
Yes, when I'm really in doing sports,
Ah.
sports. I could drink 2 cans in the heat of my sports.
What sports was that?
Football,
Okay.
badminton. Really tired because you sweat it out. The first thing when you finish the game of badminton, you lose the match or you won the match, or after football you don't want to give up because you won the last goal. Oh, I tell you, you rush, you make the beeline for a Coke. Any kopitiam, just give me a Coke. I don't care. Pepsi can't be helped now. You take Pepsi.
Right.
2 cans, and then you bring it to the field.
So you don't go for those isotonic drinks, Red Bull or whatever.
Sorry, not my cup of tea. I
100
just don't
plus.
enjoy. It goes into my philosophy. I want to drink to cure the thirst and to enjoy drinking. The two philosophies of drinking beverage.
Okay, another trail for you: 7-Up, Sprite, and Bubble Up.
7-Up, hands down, because 7-Up has got that little extra in the lime taste. That little extra, that you just love that lime taste, as opposed to Sprite. Sprite hasn't got that much of a lime taste by my standards. And by
there's a significant difference, yeah.
It does. And again, beverage is more of a personal preference kind of dynamics.
What's a Bubble Up?
It's another 7-Up, but the advantage of a bigger quantity. But there again, no match to 7-Up. They make it up with the quantity. No match in terms of taste to 7-Up, but the blessing, the silver lining is we give you bigger quantity.
Bubble Up was from Amoy Canning.
Amoy Canning.
Okay, so it sounds like a copycat, isn't it? It got almost the same name.
Yes, because you want the share of the market. You can't have any other labeling other than using the last letter. Of course, the copyright laws, and in America, it can be very severe. But in this instance, I don't know. I'm not familiar with the trademark copyright on these two, whether they went to court to settle the dispute as to the rightful ownership in terms of usage of the UP, Bubble Up, and 7-Up. But all I know is that I will always prefer a 7-Up compared to the other two, Sprite and Bubble Up.
Finally, we have root beer or Sassi.
Root beer, hands down. Sassi, it's F&N. F&N, well, far below the standard of root beer from America, far superior. Root beer, anywhere, anytime, is always superior, and it's so likable because of the root beer. The essence of root beer is it's so distinctively unique by itself, and you can't find a competitor that can equally provide you with a second choice. So your first choice will always be a root beer.
Alex, I've never seen you drink anything other than Coke. Do you ever, nowadays, do you ever drink any of the others? 7-Up?
Oh, yes, I do.
Beer.
If I want to, yes, if I want to change in flavor. Again, it's not the quenching of the thirst. You just want a different flavor to, I don't know, maybe match the occasion of a curry dinner. When you have a curry dinner, then you want something different. So you go for 7-Up. Very nice, 7-Up if they have. If the coffee shop has one, otherwise Sprite. All right, and then you go to the KFC. KFC, I would select Sprite because the Coke there is awful because it is concocted, their own concoction. They make themselves up and then they serve. That's why it's free for all. But if you talk of bottled drink, it must always be Coca-Cola in a bottle, in a can. Not in those fast food, where you have must. You know what I'm saying? You know what I meant.
So you make a distinction between the two.
I always want a can or the bottle.
Right. You wouldn't want to, put the thing on. Yeah.
No, not the McDonald's, the fast food version. No, they're not selling real Coke. They're just selling Coke as a convenience to match to assist you in the main product, which is a hamburger. The soft drink is nothing. That is just it's a side thing, and they're not making money because that's why they can sell. They can market their soft drink unlimited quantity. You can even bring a pail and tapao for what they care. You see? So this fast food business industry, that's another dynamics.
That's right. Yeah. Correct. So there is a difference between the Pepsi at different places.
Oh, tremendous. Yeah. The closest in imitation to me in McDonald's or in KFC would be Sprite. That's the closest. Beyond that, the Coke is horrid. Pepsi is horrid. I mean, even the root beer cannot. Because it's all concocted, their own version.
The A&W root beer?
Yeah. It's so different, too sweet, and then the gas is not there, and you don't get that quintessence, the taste.
Right, because it's available all day. The gas is gone already, isn't it?
Right, gone, and also because school children, the kids, they order one drink and then which is so cheap, so it's a service to these kids. Stay longer and buy more hamburger, buy more KFC. We feed you more with KFC, and the drink goes with it. What the cost of a drink is nothing,
And let's not forget diluted with huge amounts of ice
and sugar. Sugar is the attraction. People just love sweetness. They love sweet things. So that's how it works with the market. It's a cruel market, very cruel. Dog-eat-dog world of the beverage industry and the competition from the competitors and capturing that pie, that market, which is a growing market. Because don't forget, every day 100 babies are born in Singapore. So you're looking for the potential of that 100 babies. And funny thing, drinks, soft drinks, it's a prerequisite in any event, ceremony, funerals, weddings, birthday function, anywhere. When you have an event, sporting event, or amusement, anything, soft drink is always a requirement.
The all-purpose drink.
It is all-purpose. It is indispensable. You just got to have a drink. Not the ching teng la, hawker. In those days the hawker, the pushing the cart will sell you the drinks la. Not that kind. People don't go for that kind of drinks anymore. The cottage industry, no, it's real stuff, and it's big industry.
Thanks very much, Alex, for shedding light into our social, cultural, economic history through the lens of soft drinks.
Thank you, Kasing. Thank you very much. It's a joy. It's a joy exchanging with you. Sharing.
I think that was really fun.
Fun, enjoy with you, Kasing. Really with you, because two of us, we share common likes and dislikes when it comes to eating.